We've gone from 40 all the way through 5, and now we got the top 4. And let's begin with the top 4 with a number 4, a controversial character here. Got offseason issues. Obviously, we'll talk about that in a second, but here is a Deshaun Watson.
That's right. I mean, hey, listen, we're talking about what's going on the football field here. Let's just be, upfront with that. I'm not here to be a lawyer or judge people what they do. I am all about just the quarterback on the field.
And let's be honest here, these are serious allegations.
No doubt.
And from what the reporting has been,
right.
it could possibly be something that is extensive and has gone on for a while. Mike Florio wrote about it. So it's been nearly 3 months since his first of 22 lawsuits was filed against the Texans quarterback, alleging misconduct during therapy sessions. The NFL has had a full and fair chance to conduct a preliminary investigation. Soon, he says, the NFL should decide whether Watson will be placed on leave pending the resolution of those cases. So it sucks, right? I mean, there's really no other way to put it. It sucks. It sucks for the alleged victims here. It sucks for everyone involved, and it sucks for a guy that, I think we learned that you don't know everything about everyone, right? We see what they do on the football field. We don't know what goes on in the football field, and unfortunately, it's hard for us to ever know.
No.
Sometimes the character of these players, but what we're going to do on this show is we're going to evaluate the quarterback.
That's right.
And let the other stuff play out. And hopefully there's a resolution that's positive for everyone involved there. But we're going to focus on the quarterback.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, listen, it's not a good look for him. We know that. It's not a good look for the NFL, the Houston Texans, anything. It's a tough situation, and we don't know where it's going to go this year for Deshaun Watson and the Houston Texans, whether he gets suspended, puts on the, commissioner exempt list and still gets paid. I don't know. There's a lot to be resolved.
And all that stuff is still secondary.
It's still
secondary to what's happening off the field. That's the most important thing in his life and the victims' lives. And so this is secondary, but this is the top 40 quarterback list, and what he did last year was very impressive.
Well, he's a special football player. As far as between the lines go, he is definitely one of the best our sport has to offer. And really, what I want to say is just like, what more can he do? Really, what more can he do? He's phenomenal in every aspect. There's really no weakness to his game. He's a great example of just saying, listen, see, you need a team. You can't, I don't care who you are. Watson is phenomenal. He maximizes everything. He is an elite passer, thrower of the football. He wants to stay in the pocket to the very last second possible. And then his movement, come on, it's as good as anybody in the sport, really, other than maybe Lamar and Kyler Murray and maybe another guy here or there. But, whether that's hopping around the pocket to make throws or getting out of the pocket and being the Tasmanian devil in it and then getting out to make a play, he's special that way. So he delivers everything that's there to be had within the offense, okay? And then some, and a lot more than some. Because I would argue and sit here and tell you, hey, listen, their offense schematically is nothing special, hasn't been. Offensive line, hey, it's better now than it was, but not special. You know that. Receivers, good, not great. No running game to talk about at all. I believe they were 31st in football in the running game. Yet they were still, a top 12 or 13 offense? Because it's all on number 4. And number 4 does it all. Now, and again, if the teams are close enough, right, if his team isn't so far outmatched, he might be able to pull off the victory for you. But, again, they had a tough year last year. Yeah, 4-12. He wasn't supposed to beat the Chiefs, the Ravens, the Steelers, or even the Vikings. They're all better teams than the Houston Texans. And for the most part, like I'm saying, if the teams were even somewhat close or there to be had, other than the Bears game, he will, like I said, take what's there. But the other thing that I love about Deshaun Watson, and here's where we're getting into the category of guys where, I talked about Ryan Tannehill and Justin Herbert last week where, there's times where I go, hey, you're too good. Your team's not playing good. Now's the time to kind of start taking chances and make something happen, right? Mm-hmm. Watson is one of the kings of kind of knowing when that point is to go, wait, we're down 14-0. Nothing's happened. I got to start to push the envelope. Now, the team fails him at times in those scenarios where he might get a few first downs, and then it's first down completion, second down completion, and it's 3rd and 1, and they run the ball up the middle, and they get a 2-yard loss, and they still have to punt it, and you go, well, Watson did everything he can. He can't call the plays and block and run and do all those things. So you got to take all that into account. But a special talent, and he's an incredible deep ball thrower, an incredible playmaker, and he just needs more support around him, plain and simple. That's all there is to the story.
He was 4 last year, so right where he was last year at the beginning of the year. He moved down to 6th in your November top 10 rankings where we saw a little bit of movement right there.
Yeah.
let's take a look at Kristen. Have we shown his 2020 rank? So exactly what he did last year, and you're right. It was Pete notes here 8.1 under pressure yards per attempt was the best in the NFL. So when they rushed him, he was very good. Now the one thing that he does have problems with, you see, was first in pass yards there in the NFL, first in yards per attempt. So they were getting big chunk plays over and over and over again, doing it without DeAndre Hopkins, doing it without his head coach there for part of the year. So it was all on the shoulders of Deshaun Watson, and on the football field he was able to do well. The one thing that he gets sacked quite a bit.
Yeah,
that's
he
the
does.
one, and I always, sometimes that's just trying to make a play.
Sure.
But it does seem like with him that sometimes it's, I don't know, a lack of awareness and then a lack of elusiveness from the defensive, which is weird because he's such a elusive character that sometimes it seems like I don't know why he takes so many sacks.
Well, he'll hang in there to the last possible second.
Yeah.
He does not look to go, let me look downfield, nobody's open, and now let me just run out of the pocket and do it that way. He is going to go, let me look at one. Let me look at two. Let me check the pass rush. Okay, I'm okay. All right, it's getting tight. Let me see. 3 might come open. Let me check again. Okay, it's closing. Now I got to start moving.
Yeah.
And sometimes he waits too long, and then it just collapses, and he can't get out of it. It's a little bit of it's the gift and the curse. It's like we've talked about with Russell Wilson. It's like we're going to talk about with some of these other quarterbacks coming up here in the top 4.
Right.
That's part of the game of, it's their greatness, yes, but you're going to have to live with that a little bit. It's like your Barry Sanders back in the day.
Sure.
Here's a 40-yard run. You're going to have to deal with a -2-yard run every now and then. He tried to break a guy's ankle, make a big play, he got tackled for a loss, right?
Could be 10 in a row, kind of like
right,
that
it could
with
be
Barry Sanders.
Yeah, right, exactly right. It could be. He was to the point sometimes you're like, please just go forward a little bit more.
Then you go, and then he rips off one for 50 yards.
And you're going, he's amazing. I'm sorry I questioned you.
I'm sorry for doubting you.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You're awesome. But I think that's the first thing that comes to me. Yes. There's a negative, is that maybe he can hold on. We've talked about, I've used the phrase of too much of maybe being the last play of the game mentality for Deshaun Watson. I thought that improved last year. I don't think it was as much as we've seen in years past. I do think he got the ball out of his hand on time and in rhythm a lot more than we've seen in years past, and also with lesser help around him. Again, no DeAndre Hopkins and no defense. Yards per attempt, yards per completion were all towards the top of football. Their running system stunk. And, of course, he was second on the team in rushing. He is the Houston Texans.
He was their whole team.
He was their whole team. And there was nothing else to write about. It's a horrible defense, like I said. So, yeah, I'm a huge believer in him and everything he does on the football field because it's all done at a pretty elite level.
He was PFF noted in their rankings of all the quarterbacks. He was surrounded by the league's second least efficient running game,
right? Second
least efficient overall defense last season. So it was like both sides of the ball.
Right.
It was all on Deshaun Watson. Do you think this was his best year? Like, was this a career year? He's been good up to this point, but was this the best one?
I think just from purely quarterback play, it was. I mean, it's hard. You're never going to look at it and go 4-12, no playoffs, best year, all those type of things. But I think if you just graded him and on his play, decision making, accuracy, did he miss this throw? Should we have gotten a 70-yard completion and not a 40-yard completion? I do think it's his best year. I do. I think he was extremely efficient. And, hey, let's not take into account, the team failed him a few times here throughout the year, too. I mean, they're on the doorstep and going to beat the Colts. Guy snaps the ball on the ground. They lose. He throws the ball to Kiki Kute over the middle. They're going to go down and score and win the game against the Colts again. He fumbles on the 2-yard line going in. So, and at times he plays phenomenal. And so, like what you just said right there, the defense can't stop anything. So he could be, there's games where you go, shit, he's 20 for 22 right now for 300 yards, and they're losing by 14.
Yeah.
Like, that's how bad they were. So, yes, he's phenomenal, and he's the perfect example of don't put it all on the quarterback. And if he was on a better team, it'd be way better results. And he's been making that team look better than it really is for the last 2 or 3 years. He gave them the false sense of confidence to be able to, hey, let's trade around DeAndre Hopkins and let's rebuild our defense a little on the fly, because they thought that he could still kind of carry them and get them over the hump. And no, it just was too little for him to make it happen last year.
He was one of 3 quarterbacks to complete 70% of his passes this year. Can you name the other 2?
Hold on a second.
70%.
So 70%. So Drew Brees got over 70.
Drew Brees.
Right. Hold on a second. Damn. I want to say Josh Allen, but he might have been 69 and change.
I think he was 69
Shit.
and change.
Okay, who is it?
Your boy Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, I don't. Duh. Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, Deshaun Watson.
Right.
70% of their passes while also taking shots downfield and big plays, which is very impressive for Deshaun.
That's the point. That's the point. Like, no dink and dunk.
Yeah.
Like, we're here, you're dropping back, we're looking for big throws constantly, and you already laid it out. Yards per attempt, yards per completion. He led football.
Yep.
So there's something to be said about that. He's an incredible talent, like we said. And yeah, to be able to throw those type of throws and always be accurate. He's one of the better deep ball throwers in all of football. 20, 25, 30-yard throws down the sideline, down the middle, whatever. He never loses control. He throws a perfect spiral. It's very catchable always. He's a leader. He's tough. Hey, I know we got crap going on off the field. I'm talking about on the field. He does a lot of special things for that team, and he is one of those guys. Despite what you want to think of him as a person, sorry. When he's on the field or in your locker room, that team goes, we got a chance.
Yeah.
We might win today because we got 4.
You think we see him this year?
No.
He
If not,
doesn't
I
play.
feel like we're not going to see him until maybe past the halfway point, something like that. I would imagine that this doesn't get settled and the NFL puts him on the commissioner exempt list, and he's there until, a little more comes out with the 20, whether it's a deal or something here. I don't know, but I would imagine he's not playing early in the year.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.